Good morning, students. Welcome in SPIT online classes. मैं रामपाल प्रजापत फ्रॉम इलेक्ट्रिकल डिपार्टमेंट। डियर स्टूडेंट्स, आज के इस लेक्चर में हम स्टडी करेंगे पावर सिस्टम फर्स्ट पार्ट 20 एंड आवर टॉपिक इज इंसुलेशन कोऑर्डिनेशन and protection of devices from overvoltage. First we discuss on insulation coordination. Insulation coordination means the correlation of the insulation of the various equipments in a power system to the insulation of the protected device. Means it is the correlation of insulation of the equipment with the insulation of the protected device, which is used for the protection of those equipments against overvoltage, is known as insulation coordination. So in a power system, there are various equipments like transformer, circuit breakers, bus bar, have different breakdown voltage, and hence the voltage time characteristic, in order that all the equipment should be properly protected, is described that the insulation of various protective devices must be properly coordinated. So the basic concept of insulation coordination is illustrated in figure. In the given figure, waveform B represents the voltage time characteristic of the device to be protected, and figure A represents voltage time characteristic of the protecting device. So from this figure, it is convenient that voltage time characteristic of protecting device should be less or smaller than or lower than voltage time characteristic of the device to be protected, so that protecting device can protect the equipment properly. Now voltage time curve. The voltage time curve is a graph showing the relation between the crest flashover voltage and time to flashover for a series of impulse applications of a given wave shape. So wave of same shape but of different peak values are applied to the insulation whose voltage time curve is required. If flashover occur on the front of the waveform, the flashover point give 1 point on the voltage time curve. So the other possibility is that the flashover occur just at the peak value of the wave. So this gives another point on the voltage time curve. Third possibility is that if the flashover occur on the tail side of the wave, so in this case, to find the point on the voltage time curve, we draw a horizontal line from the peak value of this wave and also draw a vertical line passing through the point where flashover take place. So the intersection of horizontal and vertical line give the point on voltage time curve. So this procedure is necessarily shown next figure. It means there are only three possibilities of flashover on the waveform. first possibility was flashover occur on the front of the wave. So flash point give 1 point on the voltage time graph. In second case, flashover occur at the peak of the waveform, and in third case, flashover occur at the tail side of the wave. So flash point is noted on voltage time curve as on figure below. So in the voltage time curve, critical flashover at front flashover. This is crest flashover. This is tail flashover. And wave front flashover, voltage time curve, critical flashover 50% of application. So voltage range waveform flashover, time range wave tail flashover time in microseconds, and time range no impulse flashover occur in this zone. So it is divided into three parts: critical flashover, critical withstand flashover, and rated flashover. And points of the flashover are denoted by front flashover, crest flashover, and tail flashover as shown in waveform or figure. So there are some protective devices which are used to protect the equipments against over voltage. First is horn gap. What is a horn gap? Horn gap is a protective device which protects the equipment against over voltage. It consists of two horns, horn-shaped rod, which are separated by a small distance. There are two rods and which are separated by a small distance D. One end of this is connected to the line. This is the line, and another is connected to the earth, and this is earth as on figure, with or without a series resistance. So the choke connected between the equipment to be protected, and horn gaps serve two purposes. This is the series inductance or choke. So there are two purposes of horn gap. First is the steepness of the wave incident on the equipment to be protected is reduced. It means it reduces the peak or steepness of the waveform which incident on the equipment to be protected. Second is it reflects the voltage surge back to the horn. It means it reduces the level of voltage whenever a surge voltage exceeds the breakdown value of the gap. A discharge takes place, and the energy content in the rest part of the wave is bypassed to the ground. So an arc is stepped between the gap. This acts like a flexible conductor and rises upward under the influence of electromagnetic force, thus increasing the length of arc which eventually blow out. So in the circuit there are two horns shaped rod. One end is connected to the line and second is connected to the earth. There is a small gap, and in this gap there is only air. When a surge is applied on the line, transmission line, then in the air gap of the rods, arc is struck because of the ionization of the gas particles. It depends on the value of or on the magnitude of voltage, and this arc acts as a conductor. So there is a bypass or there is a short path to reduce the surge in the ground. So there are two major drawbacks of the horn gap. First is time of operation of the gap is large as compared to modern protective gear system. Second is, if used on isolated neutral, the horn gap may constitute a vicious kind of arcing ground. For these reasons, the horn gap has almost vanished from important power lines. Means two drawbacks: operating time is more than modern protective devices. It means a more operating time reduce the sensitivity of the device. Means if it takes more time, then equipment connected in the system may damage. So protective device should have less operating time. Second, isolated neutral produce arcing. There is a problem of arcing between the horn gaps, which may be dangerous, depends on the magnitude of voltage. So second protective device is surge diverter. On the basis of requirement of surge diverters, first is, it should not pass any current at normal or abnormal power frequency voltage. Means a surge diverter does not pass any current at normal power frequency. That may be normally 5% more than the normal voltage. Second is, it should break down as quickly as possible after the abnormal high frequency voltage arrive. Means surge is a phenomena of magnitude and frequency. It consists of frequency more than power frequency. So a surge diverter should be breakdown at higher than power frequency. Third is, it should not only protect the equipment for which it is used, but it should discharge the surge current without damaging itself. It means it should also be protected. Means self protection is also essential part. Fourth is, it should interrupt the power frequency for follow current after the surge is discharged to ground. It means when surge is discharged in the ground, it should interrupt the power frequency. So there are mainly three types of surge diverters. First is rod gap, protector tube, expulsion type lightning arrestor, and valve type lightning arrestor. So first is rod gap. Rod gap type arrestor is shown in figure. there is a conductor electrode and two discs are connected to the earth with a rod. So this type of surge diverter is perhaps the simplest and cheapest and most rugged one. So one such gap for a breaker bushings. This may take the form of arcing ring. Figure shows the breakdown characteristic of a load gap for a given gap and wave shape of the voltage. The time for breakdown varies approximately inversely with the applied voltage. It means in a road gap type resistor, as magnitude of surge increase, operating time decrease. This is the characteristic of road gap resistor. Operating time is less and simple and also cheapest. Next is expulsion type of lightning arresters. An important improvement of the road gap is expulsion tube, which consists of a series gap external to the tube, which is good enough to withstand normal system voltage. So thereby there is no possibility of corona or leakage current across the tube. A tube which has a fiber lining on the inner side, which is highly gas evolving material. Third, a spark gap. Second, in the tube, an open vent at the lower end of the gases to be expelled. So in expulsion type resistor is connected in line. There is a series gap and gas tube for fiber tube, and there is a metallic electrode, vent of gases, and this is earth. The construction of expulsion type of arrestor. Next is, it is described that the breakdown voltage of a tube must be lower than that of the insulation for which it is used. So when a surge voltage is incident on the expulsion tube, the series gap is spanned and an arc is formed between the electrodes within the tubes. So the heat of arc vaporizes some of the organic material of the tube while causing a high gas pressure to build up in the tube, resulting natural gas creates lot of turbulence within the tube and it is expelled out from open bottom vent of the tube and it extinguishes the arc at the first current 0. At this instant, the rate of buildup of insulation strength is greater than that the RRRV, triple RV, that is rate of reverse restriking voltage. Very high current have been interrupted using these tubes. The concept of RRV is reverse restriking and recovery voltage. Means it is the voltage across the electrodes which can initiate the arc. If the operating voltage is more than RRV, then arc is stuck between the gap of the electrodes. Next is valve type lightning arresters. So there are different parts of a wall type lighting arrestor: gas unit, impulse current, pre-ionizing tip, bypass gap, magnetic coil, thyroid shunting resistor, pre-ionizing tip, gas unit, and thyroid wall element, that is grounded. So an improvement but more expensive surge diverter is wall type of lighting arrestor. It means it is more costly than horn gap and other protecting devices. So a non-linear surge diverter. A porcelain bushing figure contains a number of series gaps, coil unit, and the value element of non-linear resistance. So material usually made of silicon carbide disc, later processing low resistance to high current and high resistance to low current. So the characteristic is illustrated expressed as I is equal to K V into N, where N lie between 2 and 6 and K is a constant, a function of the geometry and dimension of the resistor. The non-linear characteristic is attributed to the property of the electrical contacts between the grain of silicon carbide. The discs are 90 mm in diameter and 25 mm in thickness. So a grading ring or a high resistance is connected across the disc so that system voltage is evenly distributed over the disc. The high resistance keeps the inner assembly dry due to some heat generation. So in the given figure, volt ampere characteristic of a non-linear resistance of the required type. The closed curve represents the dynamic characteristic corresponding to the application of voltage surge, where the dotted line represents the static characteristic. These are the static characteristics. The voltage corresponding to the horizontal tangent to the dynamic characteristic is known as the residual voltage or IR drop, and it is the peak value of the voltage during the discharge of the surge current. So this voltage varies from 3 kV to 6 kV depending upon type of arrestors. So the characteristic of residual voltage and versus current is shown in figure. Dear students, in this class we have studied about insulation coordination, that is the relation of insulation of protecting device and device to be protected, and there are some protective devices against over voltage such as horn gap and different types of arresters which are used for the protection of the equipment against over voltage. Okay, thank you for today's class.